Blog Talk Radio.
Elena Radford was born in Peru and lived most of her life in South America. She came from a lineage that stemmed from an ancient Inca culture. This lineage of people possessed unique abilities that allowed them to see on many levels other than just the physical realm. Elena Radford had access to some of these spiritual gifts even at a young age. She had the ability to connect to other realities besides the physical realm, such as the soul, spirit, conscious, subconscious, and DNA. These sacred gifts have been carried throughout her lineage to her people to empower themselves. Elena wants to share her life experiences to allow her to bring the knowledge and wisdom we are seeking by telling us her story about how she became an Inca shaman and why she is so dedicated to empowering us in the new way of life that brings love and connection. She made contracts of love with her ancestors that allow her to channel and communicate their knowledge to the world as it is now. The message is that this knowledge will create a better world. Elena's teleseminars allow her to teach some of these techniques. Please visit www.elenaradford.com for more information. And now, welcome to Elena Radford.
Hello, everyone. I'm just so excited to be with you this morning, and I do want to acknowledge each one of you for taking the time of listening to this message every week. And to me, it was a big surprise that when I went this morning into seeing how many people were listening to this show, pretty much it's just multiplying. We have more people and more people listening to the message because it is so important, and it's so important to me and to my ancestors that we can bring our knowledge to you. And for that, I am so thankful that you're taking 15 minutes or 20 minutes of your time a week to increase and awaken your energy in the process of the ancient knowledge. So what happened to me during this week? And before I go into this message, I want to welcome 3 of my ancient people that are going to be helping me into taking the message this week. And one of them is the Inca warrior, and another one it's an Inca that eventually through time he migrated into Central America, what we call Belize, and then another Inca in those times of 500 years ago that he came here and migrated into what we call the southern part of the United States, and he brought his teachings to the people during this time, and they were able to share their knowledge, and that's the intention. The intention of this message and the energy of trust is to help you to remember that this is what we're doing in these days. We're gathering our knowledge from different places so we can be able to teach each other to remember who we are. And for that, I'm very thankful. And so I want to honor each one of these 3 amazing teachers to me for that. Last week, I started having like around 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock dreams, and I have learned not to manipulate my dreams. I just allow them now to come to me, and because I can remember them. You know, it's like everybody else. You're very tired while you're sleeping, and then you can start having these dreams, and then you start remembering some of them, and they go to your mind, and you try to control the dreams. But something in my heart was telling me for the last 6 months or 8 months of my learning not to go into that space. Just allow your dream. And I'm not talking about nightmares, right? I'm talking about those beautiful dreams that come to you, and sometimes you try to control them. So in the process of that, I was learning in the energy of trust. Just allow to yourself to come to you that knowledge, even if you're not aware of what's the knowledge. And if it feels good, just allow your heart to receive that. And it was quite interesting because it was last Wednesday when I started remembering that I was talking about my dream, and I was looking into how my heart was going, the light in my heart was expanding, and I kept talking to this beautiful rock that was next to me. It was one of my favorite rocks. It was a big piece of me. It was bigger than my hand. It was a beautiful pink quartz. And when I was looking into the quartz, I just felt this beautiful energy. And while I was feeling this beautiful energy, I was increasing my energy of trust. And on Friday, I went into my Facebook, and then I saw this message about this beautiful Native American Indian that was going to be here, and and it was a last minute gathering. They didn't even have a location, and I just clicked there and said yes, I'm going to be in that gathering. And so, not finding always the time to do all the things that I want to do. Everything was by line for me to find the time to go to this gathering, especially with such a little notice, right? And so, in the process of doing that, I just knew I needed to take something to the gathering. And so I took my beautiful pink quartz, bigger than my hand, and I carried one of my, and I got something else like a ceremonial shawl that had different colors, and I went to the gathering. And even though there were not that many people, maybe 20 people, I just sat there, and took them from my purse, this beautiful quartz rock. And I stood there, and I was listening to the message. And the message of this beautiful man that was coming to me, that eventually I knew that his name was called, he's called by his people the chief Black Fox. And he's talking about his culture, and he's talking about how he's from South Dakota, and he's sending the message and how important it is to keep the ancient knowledge, his music, his songs, and his language. It was the same conversation, the same frequency that I was listening while I was sleeping 2 or 3 days before. And so I just knew I needed to give him my special quartz. So and it was beautiful because in the moment when it was the offering of my heart, it was also the offering of the information of my heart that was being stored in this beautiful quartz for a long, long time, a gift of my people to him. And then he said to me in a very beautiful way, he said, I am going to Hawaii at the end of this month, and it will be a gathering of different nations, different cultures, and he had a dream 20 years ago, where he will be part of the gathering of these days. And now he has this non-profit organization. He's going to places and he's meeting the right people. And now he's going to Hawaii, and then he's going to meet these people, and how powerful these things can be, in the sense that I just knew that was part of that gathering. I was not going to be able to be there in a physical level because my journey is taking me in to prepare for myself, and something huge for me while the gathering is going over there. While I'm going to be here in Salt Lake City in a conference, he's going to be there. By my energy, my teachings, what my people stands for is what's going to be going into the beautiful quartz rock. And then he had a ceremony the next day that I couldn't assist. But to my attention, somebody went there, and he told me that he opened his beautiful sacred space, his beautiful rocks, and his beautiful clothing, and in that, he took my rock. He took the rock, the knowledge of my ancients, and allowed every person in that ceremony, as part of his ceremony, to touch that rock, the beautiful quartz, pink quartz, so they can feel the frequency of the teachings. And that it helped me to remember again and confirm every single time. We're changing the consciousness of the world, communicating in the subconscious level. And then eventually comes in the conscious level, and we're being guided what to do. But it is the subconscious level that is awakening in the energy of trust in these days. And this is what I wanted to share, and why I want to call this message today, trust. Because he's talking to something while he was doing his presentation that it really related to me. That so many times, when he was standing for his people, and how his people was standing for the belief systems, for the songs and for the traditions 500, 600 years ago, the new people that will come into the United States will break the trust by killing them, by destroying their belief systems, and by destroying them. And eventually they couldn't even defend their lands. And so they got removed to small areas where they didn't have access to that many things, and their animals are getting sick nowadays. And so when they eat their animals, they get sick and the people die. And all that is a manifestation of not having the trust. And so how do we relate that to our everyday conversation? Every time That I talked to a woman that has been set by their husbands, that the people that are supposed to love them the most, right? To have them in physical abuse. It's a way how they do it. They separate them from their loved ones, to the point where when they're separated from their loved ones for the belief systems, then they're set to be alone, and that's when the physical abuse starts. It's happening with us. That's when we lose trust, when we're separated for the things that we love the most. And that's why when I heard that he was sharing with the people that he was having a ceremony, fire ceremony, and he was sharing this beautiful knowledge, and he was passing this beautiful crystal, this beautiful pink rose crystal, he was sharing my gifts, my knowledge with each one of them in the subconscious level to be able to go into the energy of trust, the energy of gathering. And something else that caught my attention is that they did such a good job in the old times, and control and manipulation does such a good job, that they separate us so much. We have there's so many ancient cultures separated. In the United States, there's so many of them. In South America, there's so many of them. They separate us to lose our trust and our ancient knowledge. But it's coming back. And it's coming back in a strength and a power. So you can be able to create and recreate the same energy in your personal lives. It's for you, these gifts that we're bringing back in our energy. This communication into different tribes and gatherings. So we can be able to bring that subconscious knowledge and empower you in the choices that you want to make in your life. And for that I stand, for you to have a better life. And that's the ancient knowledge for everybody to have abundance in their lives in every level. And with that, my three masters here right now, my three teachers, are very pleased into the message that I'm giving to you. But there's one thing that is missing. And this is my way of loving these gatherings. And I want to support, however they come, to be able to take us to the next level of awareness and love ourselves. And so here's the gift. The same energy that was in the beautiful, beautiful rock, pink rose of what it is, energy of trust. And with that, I get to honor each one of my ancestors to transfer this knowledge to you. So place your hand. And I'm going to place the frequency of the energy of trust and love and everything that we teach and stand for in the ancient knowledge. And bring that into your heart. And with that, I wish that this amazing leader for his community that is called Black Fox and represents the indigenous bridge, the gathering of all the tribes to bring our knowledge to you. It comes to fulfill in his dreams, to do what he gets to do, and everybody else who's standing for that. Now, when you feel that gift, and that you're going to feel the energy of love for yourself. And this is the way how we transform the world. We love. And thank you again for listening to this message. And my love again goes with you and the love of my ancestors. And you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
You have been listening to My Life as an Inca Shaman. For more information about our programs, please visit our website, www.elenaradford.com.